Hello guys, I'm Rupesh and I welcome you back to the fourth episode of Getting Along with Flutter. In this episode, we will learn some basic concepts of Dart. This is going to be a very important video because we will be working on the foundations only. So let's get started. Now to code in any language, we need an environment to work on. So to code in Dart, we will be using Dartpad. To open Dartpad, all we have to do is Google search dart.dev. Let me show you. We'll type dart.dev and the site is loading. It's here. Now, when the site comes, all you have to do is click on try Dart. When you click on try Dart, the IDE pops up. That's it guys, we will be working on this IDE only. So guys, let's start with what are variables. As you all know that if we want to store a value or name a value, then we will definitely need a variable. Hence, variables must be declared before they are used. The structure of declaring a variable is something like this. First comes the data type. Next comes an identifier. And then comes the value. Let me comment this out. To comment out any line statement, all you have to do is press slash twice. Fine. You can see this line has been commented. Now guys, what is a data type? Data type is the type of data the variable contains. So what are identifiers? Before knowing that, we must know that identifiers must be alphanumeric. Now, what is alphanumeric? It means that they must have no spaces or special characters besides underscore or a dollar sign, and they cannot also begin with a number. Now, what is a value? Value can be anything that matches its declared data type. Fine. If this seems complicated, let's understand it with an example. Let's say I will take int as the data type. Then as identifier, I'll call it identifier only. Fine. And I take the value to be, let's say 10. Fine. Now, if I print the identifier, which I have named as identifier over here only, so you will see the value of the identifier. Let's see. It may take some time to run. Yeah, you can see the value 10 over here. So guys, let's check if this works or not. If I name my identifier as @identifier, you can see that the ID is showing up an error that expected an identifier, which means that the code is not considering this word or whatever it is as an identifier. This will never be considered as an identifier. If you name this variable something like this underscore b, this works too. Fine, the value comes out to be 10. But if you name it something like this, @ is equal to 10, it will pop up an error. Are you getting the point? So you all need to choose your variables wisely because Dart doesn't allow to use every special character as a variable. Fine. Now guys, while we are talking about variables or identifiers, let's see another example. If I name my identifier as break and I try to print it like we did previously, you will see it will again throw us an error. You know why? Because break is already a keyword and a keyword can never be used as an identifier. And this is the main reason why we need to be extremely wise now while choosing a variable name or an identifier. Because if we choose a keyword as an identifier, then things are not going to work for us. Now guys, the next thing we need to take a note of is that while we are declaring our variables, we cannot change the data type or the data after we declare them. Let's say I declare a variable named after a data type int and a identifier named value, and its value is 5. Fine. Then after that I use a string with the same name value, and it contains, let's say, anything, null. Actually it contains nothing, but anyhow, null. So it is again throwing us an error. You know why? Because this variable name or the identifier which is called here value is taken by int. Fine. So string cannot take it anymore. This is the point. Now guys, let's try to do some operations over data types. As you can see, I have taken a variable with data type int and a value 5, and the name of the variable is a over here. When I try to print it, like print the value of a is a. When I do this, you'll take a note that, okay, I missed the semicolon. Silly mistake. Fine. When this will get printed, you will take a note that here a is printed as a string, but we want to print the value of a, which is 5 over here. To rectify this mistake, what we'll do is we'll use a dollar sign over here. Now, when dollar sign is used, this a is not a string anymore. This a is this variable which is made up over here. When we print its value, it it will come up to be, yeah, 5. The value of a is 5. Are you getting this point? So when we use a dollar sign, this a will never remain a string anymore. It will show the value of the variable which was defined beforehand. So guys, now we'll talk about another data type whose name is var. Now what difference does this data type make? Let's say you want to declare a variable but you don't know which data type it is. It can be a string, it can be a float, it can be an int, it can be anything. At that time var will come into a great help. You know why? Because let's say I declare it something like var, basically the data type's name is var, and I use the identifier I don't know because I don't know what its value is, and I declare it with a string, let's say null. Now when I print the value of I don't know using the same dollar symbol, you will find that it prints the value null. Although null is a string, but it prints it. Now let's say I will declare another value of var, which is var b is equal to 8, for example, and when I call b over here, let's delete this. Now we'll see that the value of b is still 8. So var can be a string, var can be an integer too, and this will come to be of great help because we will be using this a lot in our Flutter projects. So make sure you remember this var keyword. So guys, let's study about another data type, const, as in constant. As the name suggests, what it does is it carries the value of the variable as a constant. For example, I'll declare it as const c is equal to 10, for example, and when I print it, the value will of course turn out to be 10. Yeah, the value is 10. But let's say when I declare it again by, let's say I try to change the value of c is equal to 15, for example now, and when I try to run it, you'll see an error over here. You know why? Because this is a constant value. This c is a constant value and you cannot change it in your code. So whatever happens, this C must remain constant anyhow. Now guys, we'll start a fresh topic, if else. We'll try to understand it with an example. ठीक है? Let's declare a variable first. Let's say string food and I take it static as pizza. पिज्जा क्यों? आगे देखो समझ में आएगा. ठीक है. Let's say food equal to pizza. If food equal to pizza, then we will print Joe doesn't share his food. ठीक है, अब समझ में आया पिज्जा क्यों? Let's walk through the code. I declared a string named food over here and made it static with the value pizza. Then I took the if statement and the condition over here is if food is equal to pizza, then we will print Joey doesn't share his food. Those who don't know who Joey is, forget it. But let's say if the condition is satisfied, then only it will print. Otherwise, it won't. Let's run it once and we'll see if the code is working or not. ठीक है, Joey doesn't share his food. Let's say food is not pizza. If food is not equal to pizza, then if food is not equal to pizza, let's say food is something like ice cream, and I try to run it, then the thing which gets printed is in the else statement. Now guys, we'll be starting another topic which is switch case. Now switch case is basically like a brother of if else. If you understood if else, then you will definitely get switch case. Let's start with an example. Fine. Let's say var superhero and we'll take any superhero name over here. Let's say Iron Man. And we'll call switch now. If we'll call switch on superhero. Fine. If switch on superhero is called and the case comes out to be Iron Man, then what we'll do is we will print what was that? I forgot about Iron Man. Some genius millionaire, something like that. If you remember, just write it in the comments, right? So that I'll get to know it. I knew it, but I forgot it. Whatever. So let's say I run this code now, and you will find that if the value of the variable superhero is Iron Man, then this case gets executed. Now let's say someone comes to me and says that भैया मुझे Iron Man पसंद नहीं है. So I will have to make a different case for that person because this will only get executed if the value of the variable superhero is Iron Man. So let's say someone comes and says that bhaiya, let's take another superhero. All I'll do is create another case, so I'm copying this much and I'll paste it inside switch. Let's say this time the superhero is, for example, Star-Lord. God knows why this name came to my mind, but let's say Star-Lord. Fine. And what I want to print here is I screwed Infinity War. For example, let's say. Now guys, you can see an error emerging over here. The reason of this error is basically this switch is not able to decide which case should be printed. Because we have not yet defined that if you print this case, then you should not print the rest of the cases. Are you getting the point? So for that, we need to distinguish each of the cases from each other. And for that, we will use break. First, we'll use it and then I'll explain what break actually is. We'll use break after each case. So after the first case, break. Then after the second case, again, break. Let's change the superhero name to Star-Lord for once. Fine. And when I run it, you can see this print statement gets executed. Now let's understand what break actually does. The break statement is used inside the switch to terminate a statement sequence. Like this is a sequence, then this is a sequence. Fine. When a break statement is reached, the switch terminates and the flow control jumps to the next line following the switch statement. The thing which happened over here. Fine. Now guys, for your own satisfaction, I'll take one final example and then we'll end switch case. First, I'll create another case. So I'll copy this code and I'll paste it. And let's assume this time the superhero is Superman, for example. And we print I don't bleed. And we'll change the superhero name here also, Superman. Let's execute it once. See, you got the output. Guys, I hope you understood everything we discussed today. If you have any doubts, then you can definitely contact us or comment your doubts below. If you want to access any resource to study on your own related to Dart, then the best resource available is Dart's official documentation. Let me show you where it is. All you have to do is search for dart.dev again and go for the documentation. As I said to you earlier guys, that if you learn to study the official documentation, then there is hardly anything left to learn in the course. So that's it from me guys. Bye bye, take care, keep learning, keep hustling. Bye.